Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Apparently today I'm Cruella de Vil, if you ignore that this wig is Sophie's and it's too small. Yeah, imagine this isn't there and I am really evil. Uh, I am doing the Royal Readathon versus Princesses for October. That is one of the readathons I am taking part in. It is run by Becca Fowle and Liv. I will list the channels below. I've tried to take part in this every year that they've done it. Sometimes I've been really successful, sometimes I've only loosely took part, but this time I really did want to join in. So there are 5 prompts for this readathon. And you get to pick a team. You get to be a princess or you get to be a villain. Hence Cruella, I am trying to be a villain. This is Sophie's costume. It doesn't fit. There's meant to be a long cigarette holder, which I can't find, and the gloves. So it will have to do. I did want to be Elphaba, like I have dressed as the Wicked Witch of the West before, but that would involve painting my face green. I haven't had a good experience with that before. I forgot to put lotion underneath and ended up with, tried it on my hand, thank goodness, and ended up with a green hand. I am not taking the chance of ending up with a green face. I start a new job soon and do not want to turn up with a green face on my first day. So, Cruella it is. It will have to do, and there you go. So, I am going to be on the villains team, obviously. And so I picked books based on the prompts. There is a team book which I am hoping to read. I am going for the team book, which is, I'm in the villains team, so this is the group book. I can't remember what the princesses one is, but Malice, there was Once Upon a Time There Was a Villain by Heather Walter. It's book 1 of Malice, so it's a series. It says, once upon a time, a wicked fairy cursed a line of princesses to die. You've heard this before, haven't you? The handsome prince, true love's kiss. Utter nonsense. No one in Briar cares what happened to our princess. I thought I didn't either, and then I met her. Princess Aurora, last heir to the throne, the future queen her realm needs. One who isn't bothered that I am the dark race, aboard for the mysterious dark magic that runs in my veins. I want to help her, but with less than a year before the curse kills her, any future I might imagine for us is quickly disappearing, and she can't stand to kiss yet another idiotic prince. After all, we all know how this story ends. Aurora is the beautiful princess, and I am the villain. So that looks really good, and I will endeavour to read that one. You cannot read the group book for a prompt, but you do get points for the group book. You also get points, I must add, for reading a book with LGBTQ plus rep, extra points for reading a book with mental health or disability rep, and extra points for reading a book with POC rep. I don't know if any of my books have got those in until I read them, but if they have, obviously I will get extra points for that. So the first prompt is Oogie Boogie. Read a book with a game or trials. I am hoping to read The Final Gambit by Jennifer Lynn Barnes, which is the 3rd book in the Hawthorne Legacy Inheritance Games trilogy. I've been waiting for it to come out, and for some reason it doesn't seem to be out yet. I don't know if it's been delayed for whatever reason, or whether it's linked to the Waterstones delay that everybody's happening with the books. But that's basically about a family where this girl inherits money and didn't know she was part of this family, and then she's working with the family to go through all these games and trials to work out why she's been picked and if she indeed gets the money at the end. So yeah, hoping to read that one. Then for Gaston, read a book with a sexy villain. This is very subjective. I'm not a rereader, so books that I may have had a villain in that I thought was attractive, I wouldn't reread, so there's no point. So I've just gone for Once Upon a Broken Heart by Stephanie Garber. It says, never make a deal with fate. For as long as she can remember, Evangeline Fox has believed in happily ever after, until she learns that the love of her life is about to marry another, and her dreams are shattered. Desperate to stop the wedding and heal her wounded heart, Evangeline strikes a deal with the charismatic but wicked Prince of Hearts. I'm hoping that he comes across as a sexy villain. In exchange for his help, he asks for 3 kisses to be given at the time and place of his choosing. But after Evangeline's first promised kiss, she learns that bargaining with an immortal is a dangerous game, and that the Prince of Hearts wants far more from her than she pledged. He has plans for Evangeline, plans that will either end in the greatest happily ever after or the most exquisite tragedy. So for a book with a sexy villain, I am going for Once Upon a Broken Heart. Then we have Hades, read a book with mythology. I am partway through this series. I haven't continued with it for ages. But Beyond the Odyssey by Maz Evans. This is about a young lad called Elliot Hooper, and I can't say too much because, like I say, this is partway through. But there was Who Let the Gods Out and Simply the Quest for two of the other books. And basically, the Greek gods come and are involved in his life. So yeah, this is the third in the series. I don't know if there's like 4 or 5, but I really do need to finish it off. I could read this for a green cover for Book Snooker Halloween edition as well. So there's a lot of crossover that can be used during this month, which I'm excited about. So yeah, there you go. So that's mythology, Greek mythology, and so that's the one I will be using for the Hades prompt. Then we've got Isma or Uzma, I can't remember which Disney character that is, but we need to read a book with a sidekick. What book did I put aside for that? Oh yeah, if I can find where I've put the book, that would be helpful. I am going for Once Upon a Crime by Robin Stevens. I've only actually read the first book in this series, Murder Most Unladylike. I found this at a book cycle recently, where you go to the book cycle and pick 3 books and pay whatever you think for them. It was the only book that I could find that was in reasonable condition that I wanted, and just assumed it was a book much later on in the series, but this one is actually a collection of mysteries and stories, so you can read this at any time. But there's Daisy Wells and Hazel Wong, and they're friends and they solve crimes. But when I've looked, I was pretty sure that one kind of took the lead. It was kind of like a Sherlock Holmes Watson situation. Daisy is the leader, and then in a lot of the things I read up on, it said Hazel was the sidekick. So I am going with this as the Isma, I think it is, but with a sidekick. Once Upon a Crime by Robin Stevens. And then finally, for Ursula, read a book with witchcraft or magic. I am going for The Vine Witch by Luann G. Smith. I won a trilogy of books from this author on Twitter, and I've never got round to reading it, but it's obviously about a witch. Never hex a witch. For centuries, the vineyards at Chateau Renard have depended on the talent of their vine witches, whose spells helped create the world-renowned wine of the Chanceau Valley. Then the skill of divining harvest fell into ruin when sorcerer Eleanor Borreno, I don't know, was blindsided by a curse. Now, after breaking the spell that confined her to the shallows of a marshland and weakened her magic, Elena is struggling to return to her former life, and the vineyard she was destined to inherit is now in the possession of a handsome stranger. So basically, it carries on, and then it says, and she won't rest until she can defy the evil powers that are still a threat to herself, Jean Paul, and the ancient vine witch legacy in the rolling hills of the Chanceau Valley. So I'm going to try it because I want to see if I indeed like this trilogy. If I don't, I will pass it on to somebody else. If I do, I then have the next 2 to read. So that is for Ursula, book with witchcraft or magic. For that one, I was also considering carrying on with the Wizard of Once series because I think I'm on to book 3 for that, and I may still do if I fancy picking that up. So yeah, if you fancy taking part in the Royal Readathon, head over to Becca or Liv's channel and pick whether to be a villain or a princess. And then obviously the princess team have got different prompts to us, and they've got a different group up. But yes, so from me, Cruella, I will speak soon. Bye.